G'day viewers, how the devil are you? That's imitating one of my new heroes on YouTube, the oil burner guy. Just a quick layout update. First briefly, looking outside, that rare event, a sunny autumnal day in North Yorkshire, not the usual gales of wind blowing. So, let's have a pop inside the shed and talk you through what's been going on. Quick looking at the layout itself. Just over here on the trackwork side of things. Okay, so the main line initially, well, it runs around the outside there, back down around here with the siding on the inside, and then originally the line ran down around here and back through. But what I was finding was that this sharp reverse curve here was causing major problem with particularly coaches derailing as they went into the opposite part of the turn. So I've cut the track. I've built a little joining piece there of wood, joined it back through there, and I've run it back down to join through there with an additional set of points. So you've now got a nice smooth transition coming through. Here in the sidings, the sort of coal hopper storage sidings, I've ripped the whole lot up. Basically, I was not happy with the small radius turnouts. They really do create a lot of problems. So they've all been ripped up, and I'm in the process of relaying everything with medium radius turnouts, and at the same time I'm going to make holes in the baseboard to put the point motors in. That's a work in progress, and I'm hoping to get stuck into that properly this coming winter. The scenery backdrop boards which are painted up, I've had to make a bit of an extension. You can clearly see where I've joined up there. Unfortunately the board edges were a little bit damaged, so making a smooth join wasn't very possible. And then where the metal girder goes up through the side of the wall, I'm trying to encase the whole thing in some polystyrene, or styrofoam as the Americans call it, to make this into like a rock mountain part that you can then, I'm going to sort of carve it up, trying to make it look like rock. It could end up being rubbish, I don't know, we'll just have to see how things go. And I've had to do it this way because it's quite a long tunnel. If it was fixed in place, what I've worked out is that I would struggle to get my hand right the way through there in order to free anything up that's stuck. So doing it this way, I've hot glue gunned all these bits of polystyrene together, and the whole thing gets lifted off in one lump. I've gone a bit mad with polystyrene actually. I'm also down here, that's the staging tracks down below. Just while we're looking at that, you can see that the mess that working with polystyrene makes a right mess, but at least it vacuums up pretty easily with the hoover. So down here I've decided I'm going to make these removable cover boards for the staging tracks. So I've got polystyrene sheets here, and what you do is, I've stuck a couple of blobs on there with a hot glue gun. You carve it out roughly with a knife just to get some shaping on it. Melt that back, this is the critical bit, you melt that back with a little mini blowtorch type thing, and that kind of makes the surface smooth. And then what I do is I put some paint and glue on it, and I sprinkle that with a combination of sifted ash from the stove and a little bit of soil, and a little bit of dry brushing on it, sort of brings out the details, and it doesn't look great, but it's not terrible. And once you've kind of start messing around, you can get little bits of greenery and stuff in the cracks and crevices, and just help to try and make it look a wee bit more like it actually is a bit of a rock face. However, the main event that's happened in here, the biggest change, is this. We've now got power coming in and actually onto a circuit breaker board, and I've got all sorts of stuff coming off of it. I've got proper power points now all the way through, double sockets all the way around. I must have a dozen double sockets round. Back up this way here, I've now got the power is now directly to the motor for the door, so that's all properly done. I can drive it off buttons. No more extension cables run off. I've got rid of about 4 extension cables. And just looking up above us, no lights there at the moment, but on the far end you can see there's a fluorescent strip light over there, and I'm going to run those all the way across here. The lighting above the layout itself, at the moment I've still got extension cables coming down, but this coming week my friend Mike, who is a retired instrument artificer, he's coming around. We're going to wire these all in properly, and everything will be off switches, and I've got a load of additional light fittings to put up. So hopefully we're on the backside of seeing temporary wiring arrangements. Last but not least, we've now got the big stove installed. What a beauty. I've connected it up to the existing 6-inch pipe. I managed to find a reducer on eBay for just about £10, I think it was. This thing now pumps out some serious heat. The previous video showed this little tiny one here. This was 4 kilowatts. The new one is 14 kilowatts. So I'm looking forward to having a warm shed this winter as opposed to virtually dying of exposure out here as I did last year. Place is a bit of a tip at the moment. We're in a transition stage. I've just started moving these shelving units down from a lockup of mine. These boxes here are basically what's left over from car restoration projects. I've got Jaguar parts, stacks of it, and it's all going to an auto jumble sale this weekend. So I'm hoping to A, make some space, and B, get some money back. Yeah, so next update, I promise I'll have a tidy up before I start doing any filming.